Heroes, take it away.
Hello everybody and welcome to my living room. It is 4 a.m. I'm here with my good friend Iced Coffee and Boneless Big the Cat. Don't worry about him, he's fine. With me also I have on commentary, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Talon2461. I'm going to be helping CriticalCyd out with his commentary for the Sonic Heroes run.
He's the guy currently trying to steal the world record from me.
I'm currently grinding it, yeah.
Currently grinding it. He's gonna do it. And with me also I have...
Hi, I'm here. I'm the kiddo.
She's the kiddo. She is on cat duty. She is gonna make sure that the cats that we have running around does not bite any of my cables. She is very important to this run.
She's currently stuck in the couch. We're good.
Couch cover. Anyway, I would like to have one last refresh. I think I already know what it's going to be, but on the category that we're going to run, because we did have a bid war going. So let's close that bid war and see what it's going to be. And if the host would like to let me know.
My apologies, it's loading up right now, very slowly, of course.
Yeah, don't worry.
Let's see, the winner is... Team Sonic. Team Sonic.
What?
Oh, Team Sonic won?
It's Team Sonic?
Hang on one sec. Did I misread that?
Well, Team Chaotix was in the lead like 30 minutes ago.
Team Chaotix has been in the lead since the very start. Is it Team Sonic?
It's not opening up. Hang on a sec. My apologies. Let's find out. Oh, it is Team Chaotix. I'm sorry. No, Team Chaotix.
Okay.
I was gonna say that you somehow actually managed to catch up.
Host fail. I'm sorry.
1,500. Nah, that's good. That's good. This is actually better because this is the category that Talon actually runs.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Both teams are great, so it didn't matter at all. Yeah.
For sure, you're more useful to me this way. Alright, so, well, in that case, let's get ready to go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, welcome to Sonic Heroes, everybody. We're doing Team Chaotix, the mission-based team, so rather than getting to the end of the stage, we're going to be doing a mission on each of them instead. In this case, it's finding 10 of the 20 hermit crabs that are in the stage. And of course, this is very, very summer team, because it is beach time. It is beach time, my dudes. And yeah, let's talk a little bit of basics about Sonic Heroes, because we have, in this game, 3 formations and 3 characters that I can actively switch between. We have Speed, SPO, Power, Vector, and Flight Charmy. And in those formations, they are gonna be interacting with each other as well. Maybe sometimes using each other as weapons, it's, you know. And using that as well as, you know, some terrain tricks like that, we are gonna make our way through the stage as quickly as possible. Now, obviously, I want to be in speed formation as much as possible, but all of the formations actually get used quite a bit, and they all have their different uses. This first stage is quite short, so I am not going to be having enough time to explain all of the basics. Just know that we are rapidly grabbing some hermit crabs.
The common strat that you'll see with Team Chaotix is Vector's. So he'll use Vector's slam attack, and then while in the middle of the slam animation, he'll switch to Sonic. Sorry, not Sonic. To switch to SPO. And what that will do is it will transfer all of his vertical momentum from the slam into forwards momentum, and it's used throughout the run to just quickly gain speed.
Mm-hmm. You can also use it to get a little bit extra height if you switch to Charmy instead. And you can even chain it into Vector's bubbles to either get a bunch of forward speed or some extra height, like I did at the end there to get on top of a platform. Something else I did at the end there was I did a little bit of a mid-air jump using SPO's star throw animation. I'm going to be using another one of those later on in this stage. The mission here is to rescue a Chow, and the Chow is at the end of the stage. So this is basically just a get to the goal wing type of mission. But yeah, the little mid-air jump that I did, and I'm going to be doing again in a little bit, is done by doing a star throw, which is SPO's attack when you press B when none of your teammates are around. And having that be like just before he leaves the ground. Since you still do it on the ground, the game thinks you are on the ground for the entirety of the animation. allowing me to jump out of it. Gonna be doing that again right here. And make it all the way over here.
Yeah, it's very useful to be able to do mid-air jumps. And some of the later jumps he'll be doing, he'll need to do a rocket XL first to gain a huge amount of speed. That was really close.
That was really close.
So he'll do a rocket XL right before he does the star throw, and that will gain him a lot of speed while going off the ledge, and that will allow him to cross really large gaps.
Now, the Rocket XL is where both of my teammates push me forward at rapid speed. You can get one with only one of your teammates, or of course for the optimal speed, where you have both of them push them. It is quite tricky to get them to line up, especially with teams that aren't Team Sonic, because the power characters are quite large for the other teams. So they can mess it up every now and then. But as long as you know roughly how to work them, you can consistently get Rocket XLs when you need them. Something else I've been using a lot is Vector's Bubble, which I can use to glide on vans. Fans? We're not gliding on minivans over here. But yeah, that's also very useful, and it also carries a lot of momentum. So often when I need to jump and keep a lot of momentum, I will switch to Vector and use his glide in order to maintain as much of it as possible. Now here we have Egghawk, the first boss of the game. I'm supposed to chase him until he lands on the beach, but there is a beach behind me. There is also an invisibility power-up behind me. So using both of those together, I can bait him back here to get him to land on the beach that happens to be right behind the starting position. And then use the invulnerability to go absolute ham on Egghawk.
May I interrupt for just 1 second?
Absolutely.
We have a $200 donation from Flutter-98 that says, have to donate during the Heroes run, especially with my main man Talon on the couch. Best of luck to Cyd, and let's get that 500K. And speaking of $500,000, folks, we have made it. We just passed the $500,000 mark. Hype for everyone. Hype out in the chat. Thank you so much for making $500,000
Let's go.
happen.
Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you very much, Flutter. Once again with the generosity.
Thank you, Flutter.
Alright, if only we could put that money to use to help Team Chaotix pay their rent. That is the story of this particular category. The other teams are trying to save the world. Chaotix is trying to beat the impossible boss that is the monthly rent.
Why do you think we're here? How else are we gonna
We
make
stand.
our rent?
We stand the rent payers. Alright, so this is Grand Metropolis. The mission here is to defeat every single robot that is in the stage. Every single one.
Yeah.
And this can be quite a scary stage.
Yeah, you can't miss.
To explain the power-up system.
Yeah.
You can't miss a single robot. If you do, then you have to restart the entire mission right at the end, because there are exactly 85 enemies. You see in the bottom right.
This is, however, one of my favorites stages, because there are not many stages in which you get to optimize the combat system. And the combat system is honestly surprisingly deep, since you also have this level system, all these levels that I've been grabbing. Over in the top right on the character icons, you have like 3 dots that indicate which level the characters are. And I'm actually already making use of quite a bunch of them. The problem is, if I die, I lose all of my levels. So dying on this stage is actually the most punishing out of any stage, because levels are just that critical. I wouldn't say most punishing, actually, but it's very punishing. So, to explain what they do, for SPO with level 1 and 2, his homing attack, where, of course, he homes in on the enemies, it starts doing 1 more damage. So at level 2, he can one-shot most basic enemies. And then at level 3, he gets wind physics on his homing attack, which means that I can de-shield enemies or flip these turtles, allowing me to one-shot them with SPO. That one I usually do with Vector to try and set up for a little bit of a speed trick, but just barely missed it. But yeah, so level 3 SPO is one of the ones that we definitely want. Surprisingly, despite the fact that power is very much combat oriented, we are not really betting on any level ups for Vector here, but we'll explain what they do in a later point. We do, however, really like Charmy, because with Charmy, his attack, the Thunder Shoot, at level 1, it starts bouncing to different enemies after it hits something. And at level 2, it also starts doing 3 damage, allowing me to one-shot most basic enemies. So those two combined, since the enemies in this early stage are still quite weak, they're pretty good. A little bit of a scary star throw right there. But we good. And I am supposed to be at 66 robots. I have like a whole bunch of points throughout the stage where I check the counter in the bottom right to make sure that I did not miss any robots. That's the point where we're supposed to be at 69. Nice. Alright. But yeah, this is something that you don't really get much in the other categories, optimizing combat. So I really like this stage because of it. Only a few more robots left, so as I clean up the stage, I'd say we have time for a donation.
Absolutely. We have a $100 donation from Bubbly Oasis that says, sending love for my favorite detectives. Go, Cyd, go.
We can actually fit another one in here.
Absolutely. Allegro donates $20 and says, it's been a long 5 years, but it's time for Sonic Heroes to shine at a GDQ again. Good luck to Cyd on the run. Everyone is cheering you on from the Sonic Speedrunning Discord. Also to Cyd, when's 20 Bullet Station Bop boost attempts?
Oh, God.
No. Okay, so to explain a little bit about what he means by that, there's a really hard trick that's in Team Sonic, which of course we now don't get to see, but don't worry about it, called the Bullet Station Bop Boost. It is so difficult that when I tried to do it 20 times in a row, it took me an hour. Or not in a row, just at all, just 20 times at all. And I did that at last AGDQ, and I also managed to rope Allegro into that very terrible idea. And he has not forgiven me for it, but that's fine.
Terrible idea it was.
Yes, but it was fun. Anyway, here we have Power Plant. The mission is to defeat 3 of the 5 golden turtles. One of them is at the very end of the stage, and fortunately, Charmy has these teleport flowers. Now, I'm supposed to take those the other way around to kind of loop back around the stage in case I didn't get any of them. Like, I managed to somehow get through the stage while missing all of the golden turtles, which casually is very possible. But since there's one right at the end there, we actually take the flower in reverse to get one of the turtles. And the other two are a little bit more problematic. They are in cages. However, the hitbox of their head actually sticks out far enough that we could just do that. For that one, you're particularly lined up that a ground pound works really well. This one, I actually have to blast out of his cage with a Rocket XL, which also has wind physics.
And if you do a Flight XL into the turtle, it instantly destroys them. Once they're flipped like that.
I really like those strats for the turtles. It's really great. Really helps that there's only one-sided collision on the top of this. Right. Now here we have something that's pretty infamous in Sonic Heroes. The team fights, the team battles. They can be extremely random, very weird, can take forever. Hopefully this one is gonna take about 8 seconds. And there they go.
There you go.
So their movement is actually tied to your movements and actions. So by doing the proper inputs and proper actions at the proper times, you can just about manipulate them into jumping off. And that is way more precise than it looks, but it's...
Yeah, it looks really silly,
consistent.
because it looks like they just jump off the stage after following you, but it is pretty precise to do.
So, Cyd.
Yeah.
How much money do we need to raise to get you to do those 20 Bullet Station Bop boosts?
I would say if you meet the Resident Evil 3 incentive during this run, I will do 20 Bullet Station Bop boosts on my stream at some point.
Okay, so I hope now you all have the incentive to start a $5 donation train. I'd really appreciate it. You want to make this man suffer? The power is in your hands and wallets.
In the meantime, don't worry about that launch for now, because there is actually a way bigger glitch coming up. We are also about to raise some money for Team Chaotix by just rigging the slots. if I shoot my teammates into the slot machine and hover above the entrance, they kind of get stuck, going in and out, in and out, in and out, cycling through all the options, giving me all the rings, turning a luck-based stage where I have to get 200 rings into something very consistent. It is quite nice. And while in the next stage, I have to get 10 of the 20 bingo chips. I'm just gonna let Talon explain how the launch works roughly, so I can focus on Bingo Highway.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. So right before he flew close to the slot machine, you might have seen him get a huge amount of upwards momentum. So what he does is he uses Vector and he fire dunks both of the other characters off of the stage. And what that sends the characters down, and then they return to him. But what he does is, in the middle of the return, is he lands, like he pushes himself up onto the pinball table, which gives you pinball table physics, which changes your momentum slightly. So by doing that and then switching to Charmy at just the right time, Charmy has a lot of upwards momentum, like so much after getting the pinball table physics that he launches upwards. And is able to get enough height to fly to the slot machine.
Yeah, it is quite useful how the pinball and bingo tables work. Because of that, I can also use what I've been using here. If I do a tornado with SPO, I can turn him invisible, which means that it's very easy for me to just get on the table with just SPO, leaving my teammates behind. And since if you switch to a formation, when you're on the table, you actually switch to where those characters are, I could just switch back to Charmy and Vector and call back SPO with an attack.
Yeah, it's really good. You definitely want to minimize the amount of time you spend on the pinball tables because the physics for the pinball tables are really, really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, essentially your center of gravity changes every time you hit something. So every time I hit a wall, I kind of have to readjust how the controls are. Oh, give me that. There we go. But yeah, in this case and in Seaside Hill, I basically just get the first 10 out of the 20 collectibles that are there. They are the fastest. In some later stages, we're going to be seeing some more interesting routing, like we saw in Power Plant. That is one of the nice things about Team Chaotix. You could just get so creative with the routes. And if you do individual levels where in-game time is optimized and you can just do a bunch of death warps, then there's yet more different routes.
Got a quick donation for you. We have $500 from an Eternal Enigma that says, I want RE3, you want RE3, Microwave wants RE3, we all want RE3, let's get it done. And with that, we just passed 71,000, making our way towards 72,000, trying to get that $80,000 goal. Keep it coming, folks.
All right. So here we have the boss fight. That is essentially just waves of robots. What I want really fast is level 2 Charmy. And to explain kind of how the level ups work, when you every 5 robots you destroy, you get some levels, and you get a level for one of the 2 formations that you are not in when you destroy the robots. Since I'm destroying them with Vector, here I had a chance to get either an SPO or a Charmy level up. With Team Chaotix, you need quite a lot of levels for them to be of optimal use. The first one I needed was level 2 Charmy for those waves of flying enemies, and these waves of flying enemies. And for a wave coming up, I'm gonna need level 3 SPO once again for the. There we go. Once again for the wind physics, so that I can flip all of these turtles and destroy them at once. And for an upcoming wave, oh hello, that was interesting. Sonic Heroes. For the wave after this one, I am also gonna need level 3 Vector. And the reason I need level 3 Vector is because every level he gets a different finisher on his combo. And on level 3, he gets a really powerful one where he blows a bunch of bubbles and just makes everything explode. And honestly, the other 2 finishers are incredibly weak in comparison to the exploding bubblegum. It is quite nice. I fortunately got quite good luck there.
Yeah, a common question is that people ask, why don't you just team blast all the time? Unfortunately, even though Team Blast does kill all the enemies instantly, it has a really long animation with Team Chaotix singing really loudly, and it lasts so long that it's actually slower almost every single wave to Team Blast. So ideally you don't want to Team Blast, but it is good backup strats if you don't hit the specific level ups.
Yep. And those level ups actually play a part in quite a few stages in Chaotix. They are the most luck-based category since you need them in Grand Metropolis to destroy the robots optimally, and it's gonna come into play again in Mystic Mansion later. Of course, these 2 robot wave boss fights. Fortunately, the random drop from enemies is not the only way to get them. You can also get them by going through a checkpoint. Then you get some level up for whichever formation you're in when you hit the checkpoint, and there are items spread throughout the stage, as well as some bobsleds that then will come into play in other categories, not so much in Team Chaotix. But yeah, there's fortunately a consistent way to get level ups as well. Anyway, here we have Real Canyon. This is the first of the 2 stages that features a enormous amount of rails. And something that I will be doing is switching back and forth between SPO and Vector a whole bunch. I'm doing that to restart the grinding animation, which gives me like a little bit of a boost. So with that, I accelerate to my max speed faster. Once I'm at max speed, I no longer need to do anything. And now it's time for a magic trick. And
Nice.
After that, it is time for yet another magic trick, because I'm going to be doing the same thing, but on a flying robot this time. And in order to focus that, I'm going to let Talon explain what's going on.
Right. So this trick is called bot boosting. And it looks like you just teleport, but actually you move really, really fast. And how it works is, while you're in flight formation, what you want to do is you want to have SBO get hit out of the flight formation on the same frame that you land, and it puts you in this weird state where the game thinks that SBO is still part of the flight formation even though he's been hit out of it. And what happens is if you try to do a normal flight after that happens, the game thinks that SBO is supposed to be part of it, so the game will push you back towards SBO at a really, really fast speed. And it's so fast that it looks like you teleport. And how that's useful is if you hit SBO out of the flight formation, and then you separate yourself from SBO with a wall. So it's like you have your flight formation, and then you have a wall, and then you have SBO. It will try to push you back towards SBO, but then you'll hit the wall, and then it will fling you later into the stage. And you go so fast that the camera can't even keep up with it. So that's why it just looks really funky. But yeah, it allows you to do some big skips. So there are 2 in this stage, and then there'll be 1 in Frog Forest later coming up.
Yeah. The answer is yes. I pretty much just skipped the entirety of Real Canyon with that. Just went straight to the end. That last one is actually a pretty new discovery by Chipro. At first, we only did it on standing robots, but now we apparently can also do it on flying robots by knocking them down first. And it was intimidating to learn, but surprisingly consistent now.
Have time to a sec for quick donation?
Oh, absolutely.
Seymour the Llama donates $5 and says, good luck with the bullet popping. And with that, folks, we are over $74,000 now towards the incentive. We're getting close. We're 6K. 6K left to get the RE3 bonus game.
It's working.
It's working.
You can make this man suffer.
It really is.
You say suffer, but really what it just is really good practice for the trick.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I call it suffering.
Fair enough. So anyway, here in Bullet Station, the mission is to defeat 30 of these capsules. There are a total of 50 in the stage, and I just already skipped one because the routing for this one is once again a little bit more interesting than just getting the first couple, the first 30. What's also interesting about this stage is that from the very moment it started, there was a giant cannon that started firing every 3.3 seconds. And how fast of a time I can get, so also kind of depends on which cycle I get on that. My movement's been a little bit sloppy, so I don't think I'll get the optimal cycle. If anything,
What?
Okay, well, so sometimes Sonic
I've not
Heroes'
seen that before.
collision likes to not work, as you can see.
sometimes Sonic Heroes is a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a common thing that happens in Heroes. You fall through the floor a lot. in this game if you go fast. Or just in general, but especially when you go fast.
So the cycles I was talking about don't really apply since they start anew whenever I take a death, so I don't know if that was a good cycle now or not. Like I said in my interview, this game still manages to surprise me to this day, because I have never died in that particular way before.
Oh.
Yeah. I died in a lot of ways in this game, but not
Yes,
in that
you
particular
have.
way.
That was weird.
Anyway, after a nice cannon trip, we're gonna land on these rails right here. And the nice thing about rails, and about any incline really, is that it keeps your gravity. So with my ground pound, that also keeps gravity, I just can just kind of do this. It is quite nice. Alright. Get those two. Now, behind this door there is another capsule, and I can just about get it with my ground pound. Don't have to open the door at all. And then another rail section. Can I use the extra momentum by timing a proper bubble in order to get up there. This is where I forget that I died and I don't have level 3 SPO, so I can't latch onto the pole with the wind physics from the homing attack, because it doesn't have wind physics yet. And then there is the run-ending flower, because there is like a stream of air around it, and if you get into it, you're not getting out of it unless you die. Talon can confirm we have both lost an immense amount of runs there to that particular flower.
It doesn't let you fall. It like keeps you afloat, but it doesn't give you the upwards momentum to actually land in the flower. So you kind of just get stuck there for about a minute or two until the game finally lets you die.
I mean, you can also just like go and take the death and
right
by going away from the flower, but by that point you've already lost enough time that your run's probably dead. Because the checkpoint's quite a ways back.
That must be...
So here is our good friend Egg Albatross. We're gonna defeat him in a similar way as Egg Hawk, except this time he has 2 additional add-ons. But yeah, we're gonna call him back to us and just kind of never leave the very first platform. And hopefully do as much damage to him as possible. It can be a little bit tricky because Vector actually does not have a lot of damage frames on his attack, but I got a very good per cycle, so let's go. The body is still intact. Oh, I do kind of want a ring, because dying on this boss is very cool. Alright, gonna call him back just for safety. And there we go. Now the actual Egg Hawk part of the boss, oh, give me the ring, is not very strong, fortunately. Normally I can one-shot him, but now we're just gonna do it like this. Little bit of a sloppy fight, but if you don't die, then it's fine.
Yeah, the scary thing is, as said, Vector doesn't have a lot of invincibility frames, and he also has a huge hitbox, which means he takes damage really easily. And if you take damage as Vector, you don't recover from it for a little while. So if you're on the edge of the stage and you get hit randomly from like a spike ball or from a robot or from the Albatross itself, you just fall off the stage, and there's nothing you can do about that, which wastes a lot of time.
I do actually have to pay attention to how I end it as well, because you can actually die in the cutscene that plays afterwards. Mm-hmm. So if there were any robots there to destroy me, should I not have rings, that's why I went for the ring. Alright, Frog Forest. The mission here... Oh. Okay, I guess we're Vector now. Let's go. Alright, the mission here is to not get attracted by the frogs, but fortunately the frogs are pretty blind. I don't really have to go out of my way that much to not get detected by the frogs. And the movement in this stage is, honestly, it's really cool. And it has a really scary bot boost at the end. Which hopefully I'm not gonna mess up. And I'm not gonna curse myself by telling you what happens if I mess it up. I'm just gonna not mess it up.
Right. So, you'll see it when he gets to it, but I'll explain it now. He needs to trigger the bot boost in the same way from one of the enemies, so he needs to get SPO hit out of the flight formation, but he needs to put SPO in a specific position so that the bot boost has a particular trajectory so that he gets stopped by one of the platforms. Because if he doesn't get stopped, it actually puts you in a really bad spot.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I won't. But you're gonna get it, so it'll be fine.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
All right, we are good. So the thing we've been avoiding to say is that had I missed that bob boost, it puts me into a different loading chunk of the game and essentially teleports me to the land without kill planes, meaning I have to do the entire stage over again, and it's the biggest possible time lapse you can have in your run.
Yeah, it's really bad. So yeah,
It's really bad for the estimate.
Yeah, so by putting SB on a specific spot, it launches him directly into the platform as long as you do the flight excel at the right time. It stops you right up above the goal ring.
Okay, everyone, we're less than $5,000 away from RE3. Keep it coming, chat. We're getting close. We're getting close.
Keep it coming. All right, so now for probably the most interesting routing, because we're going to teleport straight to the very back of the stage, and the mission is to get 10 of 20 Chow. And I'm going to get 7 of them from the back of the stage before taking a Death Orb and getting the remaining 3 from the front of the stage. This little area at the back just has so many Chow in a very close proximity to each other. It is extremely nice. And doing that, I can actually beat the stage in less than a minute. Unless I am slow. And I hope I'm not slow. So I'm here to go fast. And then here's the Death Orb.
Yeah, so dying puts you right back at the start of the stage with the Chow that you've already collected, because every Chow you collect gives you a checkpoint as well. It's really nice.
Indeed. Vector's having a good time. Getting all out for RE3. Right. And then the last 2 are up here. There we go. Just under a minute. Alright. Doing pretty good. Next up we have the second team fight. And this time I'm not gonna make them jump off the stage. Not every team actually lends itself very well to a strategy like that where you could just manipulate them to jump. There are only a few where they actually do that. I am, however, going to be doing some other shenanigans, hopefully, if Cream leaves me alone. Cream is actually the most powerful member of Team Rose in this particular fight. Normally it's Big the Cat, but this is Cream's moment to shine. She has often just completely destroyed me. But since I got the trick, it's just over for them. There's Team Rose. Whenever you restart a stage or whenever you finish a stage, there are a couple of frames of gameplay that carry over. Which means in this case I prepared a ground pound to hit exactly where they spawn and then restarted the stage to make it carry over into the restarted stage. That way they just instantly get flung off before they ever get the chance to do anything.
You could also do it on the first team fight as well, but unfortunately there are like boxes in the way which stop you from them falling off the stage. But it works really well in this one because there's no obstacles.
Talk about a huge misunderstanding.
Sid, there's a lot of donations coming in as we get really close to that RE3 incentive.
I bet I'm gonna have ample opportunity for you in the next stage or next boss fight, I should say, because that's just going to be more robot waves. That is your time to shine, lad.
Thanks, Sid.
Alright. So here we have to find 10 keys. There are actually only 10 keys in this particular stage, and we are actually getting them roughly in order.
But there's only one keys that matters.
And that is keys are on. Yeah, you're right. Because keys has the keys to my heart. Sorry to break it to you. Alright, so normally you're supposed to get this key first, but now we just took the teleport to the inverted stage first to get that one. Take an elevator up here. So yeah, and this stage and the next stage, the gimmick is that you get teleported around. In Hang Castle, it's supposed to symbolize that the stage is turning upside down and right side up again. But for gameplay purposes, of course, they just have two particular parts of the stage that have normal gravity rather than actually flipping it. Alright, let's take teleports flower in order to get this one. And then there is a pretty scary mid-air jump coming up if Charming can get in the flower. Getting into flowers is the hardest part of Team Chaotix.
Yeah, so this is one of the ones where you have to do a Rocket Excel first in order to cross the gap. But yeah, you got it. Really nice.
The hardest part there is giving you enough room on the platform to actually properly get the Rocket Excel off. And then there's a nice air current here that sends me straight into that key. The next one is hidden behind a wall, but because the Rocket Excel has wind physics, and wind physics can actually do stuff like activate switches and grab keys, I could just grab it without breaking the wall. And then for the last one, we're gonna do a really funky glitch, because Vector actually is the only power character that has a little bit of collision, which means that I can stand on his head to refresh my flight. And that is normally incredibly inconsistent, but when you're hugging up against the wall, you can make it a little bit more consistent. Why does he have collision? I don't know. Probably to ruin my day by making me trip in midair whenever I try to do a midair jump. Yes, he has done that. He is a jerk. Alright. And then now we have what, for most people who actually played Team Chaotix and Sonic Heroes, is probably their most loathed stage. It is Mystic Mansion. Here we have to blow out all of the torches, for which we can use wind physics of either the Rocket Excel, the Tornado ability that SPO has, or we can use level 3 speed formation's homing attack, which has wind physics. Now, in order to get level 3 speed formation as fast as possible, I am going to need this robot with the shield right here to drop an SPO level up. And he did. Very good luck. Very nice. So with that, I can get an early level 3 SPO from using the next 2 checkpoints, and that'll be very nice.
Yeah, it allows him to blow out 14 extra torches with the homing attack, so that's 14 less tornadoes that he has to do. It saves about 15 seconds. It's really nice. And it is just a straight 50-50 whether you get an SPO or a Charmy level up.
Yep. It's just yet another little bit of luck that this category has that other categories won't. Yet despite all the luck, it's still my favorite one to run because the movement is just that fun. Now, when the torches are low enough to the ground, I can actually extinguish them with a Rocket Excel, which can be faster in certain scenarios. But in a lot of the scenarios going forward, I will just use the homing attack from this point on. The torches in the circular room coming up are not low enough for Rocket Excels, which means that had I gotten bad luck, and I would have had to do that for every single torch. But instead, yay, homing attacks. I like this. This is fast.
Makes the room so much faster.
Oh, yeah. It loses about 15 seconds to get bad luck on the stage. I used to think it was 20 seconds, but then I got better at the video game. Alright. Now the rest of the stage is going to be me extinguishing the torches, making sure I don't miss any. So once again, I have like certain points where I check the counter at the bottom to see if I am at the right amount of torches, which I am. Coming up, there is also going to be a fight where I finally use the Team Blast functionality that the game has, which can insta-kill a lot of things, but once again it has a really slow animation, which means that I only use it for one particular enemy. The hammer robots with a helmet, because they are armored to the point where you have to get the helmet off first, which takes forever, and then you only have a very small point where you can hit them, so it's better to just sit through the Team Blast. It's straight up faster.
At least you get to hear Team Chaotix sing.
It's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, even if there's only one hammer robot with a helmet, I will use Team Blast. After this, we're almost at the point where it's gonna get really scary, the spider web room. Because if you fall here, then it's over, and you also lose all your level ups, which is bad. So I'm just gonna focus on this and let LattMackey read a bunch of donations.
Absolutely, folks. We're less than $2,500 away from the RE3 incentive. Keep it coming. But Camper John donates $100 and says, what an insanely incredible Heroes run. And my favorite Sonic Trio 2. Hope my donation helps push the RE3 incentive forward. We're cutting it so close. We are, but we're getting there.
Hey, boys.
Jill Valentine 91 donates $1,000 and says, okay, chat, you want stars? I'll give you stars.
Here we go.
And we have Nick184 with a $250 donation that says, we're so close to the RE3 remake run. Let's get this done. And while Cyd is
Thank you wholeheartedly for your donations, by the way. I appreciate it.
Oh, you just want to see me do 20 for the station box.
In a row. Yep.
In a row.
Yep.
Oh, it was in a row.
Ultimate
Oh no.
ninja power.
What did I agree to?
I'm lying. It wasn't in a row.
Okay, good.
Cyd, we all want to see that, okay?
Yeah, no. Like, I'll do 20 papus, but I'll do, in a row, that's gonna be tough. It's a really, really, really tough trick.
I believe in you.
You shouldn't, but
You'd
thank
get
you.
it eventually.
Another quick donation for you. Diamond donates $50 and says, hey, Cyd, I'm still so happy that you finally got Heroes into a GDQ. I've been waiting so long. Good luck, man.
Thank you very much, Diamond. This cutscene glitch goes to you. Don't worry about that. That's just what happens. You have like one frame where you can do an import in between the two opening cutscenes, and it can mess up the models. Just a nice little thingy. That one was for Diamond. He's a good one. Right, so the rest of this is gonna be waves. So what I need for this particular one is level 2 Charmy and a level 3 Vector. I don't need any SPO levels for this one, fortunately. Right, I have level 3 Vector. I don't quite have level 2 Charmy yet, so hopefully we'll get that soon. But for most of this, this is just going to be me defeating robots and LattMackey reading some donations.
Absolutely. Sir Shadi donates $20 and says, hey, Cyd, have fun on this detective run. Don't forget to get those potato chips. And I expect a bingo, too. And then here's a good one. We have a $50 donation from Kirby Master that says, Kirby Master donating to help Cyd pay for his rent and iced coffee. Good luck, and I'll donate another $25 per cutscene glitch you get. Donation goes to Cyd's choice.
Alright, well my choice of course was RE3. And I managed to get one, so hey up.
And with that, we just hit the incentive, folks. We have hit the 80 grand.
Yo, let's
Absolutely, oh.
We get to see RE3 Remake by Microwave. Thank you so much in chat, everybody here making that happen. And with that, we are over $513,000 total raised. Keep it coming.
Nice. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for the donations as well, Shady and Kirby. I've been seeing and hearing a whole bunch of friend names pop up. It's very nice. Thanks for the support, guys. I love you.
Here we go.
Anyway, there's more robots, so by all means, keep it up.
Absolutely.
They don't stop
No,
coming.
but man,
Much
we
less
have the
stop.
train coming, folks. It is coming in. Sam Gamer 101 donates $100 and says, been watching GDQ for a few years, but was never able to donate. Finally able to give back for the years of love and entertainment. Keep being amazing. Much love. And then we have an anonymous $500 donation that says, $5 train? Wait, where's the decimal point?
Time to give up.
And then we have Autumn.
Who needs decimal
Yeah,
points?
exactly. Who needs decimal points? Autumn Wyvern donates $10 and says, here we go. My usual Sonic block donation. Had to wait for Sonic Heroes, a game that I spent many hours playing with my younger sister to the point where we memorized all the cutscene dialogue. Go fast, have fun.
Alright, and then here we have two more waves. Both of them have a hammer robot with a helmet, so Team Blast! Yay!
But
in case
sir,
yeah?
you just used a Team Blast. How are you going to get another one?
Well, you see, the effects of Team Chaotix's Team Blast and the after effect as well while it's cooling down is that I get rings for every robot I destroy, which just instantly gives me another Team Blast.
That's great.
Yeah, use money to make
I
money.
gotta drop one more donation. Nescio
absolutely.
Squid 208 donates $3,000 and says, nothing like a big donation to leave everybody seeing stars. STARS. Thank you so much.
Yeah!
Wow, thank you. Also, thank you, Kirby Master, for reminding me I have iced coffee. I had literally not drank take a single sip until that point.
Keep bringing him
Yeah, you've been
on.
holding up pretty good.
Yeah,
Out.
we're doing good.
Yeah, almost 5 a.m.
I would say also you've been doing pretty good on the cat management, but I think she's just tuckered out on the couch.
Oh yeah, she tuckered herself out.
Yeah, well, at least we got to see her in the interview.
Yeah,
Maybe during your run later.
maybe.
Maybe. She's running Ribbit King later in City Block.
Yeah, it'll be a riveting run. I recommend you check it out.
You're not actually on cam.
I know. Anyway, you thought I was just the girlfriend, but no, I'm a runner too.
You're silly. You're perfect for City Block.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, Egg Fleet, let's go. So the mission here is to not get spotted by the robots. The robots, once again, are not very attentive, so it is not that big of a problem. I'm gonna get very close to that particular one and he's not gonna see me. They essentially have an area where they can spot people. As long as you remain out of that area, you can even have one of your teammates damage the robots and they will not spot you.
Yeah.
One of the people in the community, I forget who it was, has even managed to get a bot boost off of them.
Yeah, the only ones you really have to look out for are the ones that are sleeping, because as soon as you wake them up, that means you get caught, and that has a much bigger range. And then there's also one big enemy at the end, this big red guy that he doesn't even have to be on screen, and he can still catch you.
Oh yeah, he can very easily spot you. Also, Charmy is a very big Armada fan. There's also these gates. They don't really pose much of a threat and much of a blockade, really. The first one I essentially skipped by hovering over the trigger, so that it never even closed. And the other ones, I'm just gonna use the extra height that I could get from the ground pound into the flight formation in order to skip them like that. Actually, it's really fun, by the way. I really enjoy this stage. The movement in it is pretty dang cool. If it wasn't for Grand Metro, I think this one would be my favorite. Especially since in Team Chaotix, with these teleport flowers, you can skip the auto-scrollers that this stage normally has in the other teams. Oh. Let's just do it safe. Bounce on that particular cannon to get up there. There was a red robot off screen at the cage who was really intent on spotting me, but be good. And with that, we have made our way to the last stage of the run, Fortress, followed by the last boss of the run. Actually going pretty fast. I believe that the... let me see that. The estimate on stream is probably 1 hour. Yes, it's 1 hour. That is actually the estimate for Team Sonic. The estimate for Team Chaotix is 50 minutes.
You didn't have to tell them.
Yes.
Now what if you go overestimate?
I'm just gonna not go on over the 50-minute estimate. We good.
Right.
This has been a pretty good run, so I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, well, a lot can go wrong in Sonic Heroes.
Don't say that. I almost fell off the stage. Don't curse me. Anyway, the mission here is to get 5 of the 10 available keys. There was one under there, so we just got those. And we're gonna take the top route here because the top route has an extra additional key. You're normally not supposed to get to this that easily, but we do. Not a problem. Gonna get a Team Blast from the balloon right there, because there's another hammer robot with a helmet up ahead. So we are using a Team Blast to get rid of him.
Yeah, last Team Blast of the run.
Last time we get to hear Team Chaotix's wonderful singing. Gonna get that one with the wind from the Rock XL. And now for the run killer, a very scary mid-air jump.
Yeah, that mid-air jump is, if you miss it, you die, and you get sent all the way back to the beginning of the stage, which is far away from every single key, so you lose about 30-40 seconds. It's a very bad place to lose your run, because you're really close to the end.
Oh yeah. But that was quite nice. And oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, now we just have Egg Emperor left. Casually, this is usually a pretty dang long fight. You're supposed to chase him to a battle arena where he uses his shield a bunch. He's very hard to damage. I'm gonna make sure that tech is ready on time, hopefully, because if all goes well, this is gonna go by really fast. Essentially, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 2 Charmy level ups from pickups that are around the stage, so that my Thunderstruck does damage, and then I am gonna defeat him with Charmy before we ever even get to the arena. And essentially, the way that works is how level 1, it bounces back onto him because he's moving backwards, and level 2 is going to do a whole bunch of damage.
Alright, now we all pray for 1 cycle.
Time stops when the timer in the top left stops.
Yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys, and it's time. All right, very nice 1 cycle to clean it out.
Yeah, that was a really clean run.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I'm really happy with that. I wonder what that time is actually, RTA. I didn't have a timer running. You still have to stream up? Host.
It's catching up.
What's the time?
47:43.
Right, our work
Oh wow, that's really good.
GG. That was awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, that last trick, because we're still in the attacking phase where he's just attacking with his slashes, he doesn't use his shield, which means we can just attack his core with the aforementioned strategy and destroy him really quickly. It is a really good strategy. It works with all teams, though all teams have a different bit of a different setup because of different robots around the area and different movements. And this is the man on the walkie-talkie. It was Eggman all along. But if this is Eggman, then who was Eggman?
You knew it was me all along, didn't you?
Eggman is Metal Sonic. Don't worry about it.
Were we fooled that easily?
Right. So normally, what I do whenever I do this bid war is I fill up the gap between the 2 teams with a little glitch exhibition. However, since we're so far behind estimate, I didn't really do that. The only one I really did was the one that I showed off at the start, bonus big. Can't have a marathon showing without showing that off. If you want to see the glitch exhibition, I would say go back to Darkspine Sonic's Team Rose run of HEDQ, that one in 2015, I believe it was. All of the stuff I was going to show off was going to be repeats from that anyway. And he pretty much showed off everything there's to show, and he does such a great job explaining glitches. Shoutouts to him. He has been a pretty big inspiration throughout my time running this. Some shoutouts to other people in the community, like Deku. Deku is absolutely amazing at this game. For a while, he actually held every single record, but since he hasn't had time to run, we've been able to catch up finally with new tricks. Yeah, he's really good. Shoutouts to Freefall, who's currently aiming for the Team Rose record, and shoutouts to all of the new runners that have shown up recently. There's been a big boom, and then of course a very big shout out to Talon for helping me with the commentary here and for being a really good Chaotix runner. Like the top 4 runners of Chaotix are like super close. We're all within 5 seconds of each other.
It's really close at the moment.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. He's been running this game for so many, probably like 6 years now.
Almost 7 at this point. I've been running this since 2013.
Yeah.
Before I say how much this game means to me, I do want to throw out a little bit of a shout out to Simple Flips in there as well. Why not? Sure. Shout out to Simple Flips. And this game has just meant so dang much to me. And it was not my first speed game, but it was the first one that I would believe that truly made me fall in love with speedrunning. And like I said, I've been running this since 2013, and I still enjoy it this much. It may not be the best Sonic game in terms of polish, but I enjoy it so ridiculously much. It's so fun, especially as a speedrun. If you want to run it yourself, please do try. I have a thread on the speedrun.com page of it to help you get started on that. And yeah, thank you to everything that just really this game has given me over the years. It's given me so many friends in the community, stream growth, and if it wasn't for this game, I maybe never would have met this nerd next to me as well.
Honestly, I'm also thankful for SGDQ. Without SGDQ, I wouldn't have gotten as into speedrunning and probably wouldn't have found you in your videos.
So we have a lot to thank for both this game and this event. So thank you very much for allowing me to showcase it. right here at this event. It's honestly means the world to me. But yeah, with that, I hope you've enjoyed this little banger in the background as well for the credits. Team Chaotix's theme is really cool. And shout outs to the Sonic Heroes community, man. There's so many cool people in it. I threw some shout outs in there for good measure earlier, but there's no way. I would actually go over the estimate of 1 hour if I started naming everyone. Yeah. Thank you very much, and have a good one.
And thank you, CriticalCyd, for an awesome, amazing, wonderful kick-butt Sonic Heroes run that is going to lead us to a bonus game of RE3. Folks, that's going to be all the time I'm here for. Thank you so much for such an exciting run and such an exciting few hours as we continue to raise more and more money for Summer Games Done Quick 2020. My name is LattMackey, and we are now over almost at $515,000. Keep it coming. We're going to head over to a Twitch ad, and then up next on the hosting duties is an Eternal Enigma. We will see you on the other side. Here comes a Twitch ad.
All right. And welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online. If you're hearing my voice, I'm an Eternal Enigma, by the way. That means we reached the bonus incentive for Resident Evil 3 Remake by Mike Wave, and that is coming up next. Well done, everybody. We're currently getting set up for that run right now. Got a few more Resident Evil donations, and I see we're keeping the haiku theme going on here. We have a $100 donation from Exploded Soda, who says, constantly dreaming of Eternal Enigma hosting RE3. Thank you for the $100, and thank you for the haiku. We actually have some poetry as well, a $20 donation from Professor Shinobi, who says, a poem by Nemesis. Jill, beauty and grace, resilient and yet gentle, like snow on Fuji. The original was him yelling stars for like 17 minutes. Money goes to support the Ocarina of Time Ice Trap Mayhem incentive. Stay healthy and safe, everyone. And just want to remind you real quick that Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online is come together to benefit Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world, providing life-saving medical humanitarian care and speaking out about what they see in those areas. Their work aids people based solely on need, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or political affiliation. MSF is committed to safeguarding their patients' right to autonomy, confidentiality, and informed consent. 90% of their staff is national, meaning they live locally and are from the country that they work in. MSF relies mainly on the generosity of individual donors, with over 90% of MSF's income coming from private donors, giving small amounts. All right, so right now, we are going to go back to the exclusive prize headquarters with Scent.
Hello, everyone, and as Eternal Enigma has graciously dubbed it, welcome back to the prize headquarters, also known as my mother's living room. It's wonderful to have you all here, and I'd like to tell you all about some of the amazing prizes you can win by donating tonight. Now, all of the prizes I'm going to be talking about now are available from the start of that Resident Evil 3 bonus run, which I am so glad we got in the marathon. That run is great. All the way to Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg a little bit later tomorrow morning. So you've got some time to get those donations in, but you definitely should. Now, if you want to use this time to get a snack, let me just tell you the long and short of it. A $20 donation is going to get you entered into everything I'm about to talk about, and I'm about to talk about some interesting stuff. So, you know what, without further ado, I'm just going to get straight into it. So, first off, from our friend Ritz Blues, we have several stars. We have several perlers featuring games in our silly block tonight. They're all great. This is the Pringles perler. I really love this. It's a $5 minimum donation. Once you pop, you will indeed stop, because there's only one of these Pringles perlers, and that's all you're getting. But if you donate $5, you could have it. It could be yours. That'll make more sense once you've seen Pringles. Trust me, it's an experience. Generally, you know, when we have an in-person JDQ, we have a practice room, and there is always a Pringles setup, and there are always people playing it and writing down their times. It's kind of become like an in-joke for the event, and I love that we're finally getting to see it on the stage. Now, also as a $5 minimum donation from Ritz Blues, we have this Alf perler. Yes, Alf, now in perler form. Keep him away from any cat perlers you have, though. They don't get along. He's not like that. Alf. But what can I say about Alf, frankly? I got to be honest. Alf is kind of even before my time. Like, imagine, if you've never heard of Alf, imagine my puppetry, but it's good and funny. That's pretty much what Alf is in the 80s. But the game, oh boy, is it a silly game. You're going to want to stay up and watch it. Trust me. Again, $5 minimum donation for the Alf perler. Now, additionally, we have this stars. Don't worry about that. I'm sure it's fine. Additionally, we have this beautiful Homie to Clown perler. Homie to Clown perler. Homie to Clown perler. You just have to stay up and watch the run later. This is frankly just one of the strangest and silliest games I've ever seen. I actually had no idea it was based on a 1980s TV show until I found someone sent a prize in that I'll be talking about just a little bit later. But this is a perler of the protagonist, Homie to Clown. Comes to us from Ritz Blues. $5 minimum donation. You should get your donations in for it, and you too can have a clown. Now, our last perler from Ritz Blues here, we have this beautiful HYP2 badge from Hypnospace Outlaw. I have no idea. Every time I see this in the listing, I think it says the hype badge, and I get really hyped for a second, and then I remember it's from Hypnospace Outlaw, and my mind just goes blank, because that game, I've said it a lot, but oh boy, that game, I cannot wait for you to see Liz Star show that game off. It is wacky beyond belief, and this is only a $5 minimum donation. You could take home a piece of gaming history in probably the first time anyone has ever made a perler for Hypnospace Outlaw. Moving on to some paintings. I believe for a $10 minimum donation, we have this great painting of Lisa Simpson kind of shrugging. Comes to us from Puzzle P. It's super adorable. I love it. It captures Lisa's personality great. Meh. But that's certainly not my reaction to it. Excellent painting. Thank you so much, Puzzle P. And I believe, again, that is a $10 minimum donation. Now, for a $20 minimum donation, we have, and I cannot believe we have this, a boxed copy of the Homie to Clown DOS game. This comes to us from Corn Dan, who, if you might remember from AGDQ, was the same donor who somehow managed to source a boxed copy of Cybergenic Ranger. We just got to look inside and see what's in here. This is a really hard one for me because looking around on the internet, there just aren't boxed copies of this left around. Like, who has this? Of course, it comes with two 3.5 floppies, so that's really great if you happen to have a floppy drive lying around. But if you don't worry, because it also comes with a disk exchange coupon. So if you need 5.5 floppies instead, you know, the really big ones, you can get those, probably. I don't think this is still valid. But wait, it's better. It also comes with a product line for Capstone from 1993. And you can see the great games that Homie to Clown for DOS was in contention with. Games like Surf Ninjas. On his 16th birthday, Johnny will be the rightful king of Patusan. Help him, Adam, and Iggy claim the crown from the evil Colonel Chi in this Surf Ninja action adventure. Excellent, excellent company, I'm sure. Just stunning, perfectly made games. It's a $20 minimum donation for the box set. It comes with the box, comes with everything else I've said. It comes with the cartridges, not even cartridges, floppy disks. Thank you so much, Corn Dan, for sending it out to us. Stars. Oh, hey, son, I cut the cookie into stars for you. So you want one? Chompers, that's not a star. That's a circle. I don't have arms, Sent. It's really difficult. Yeah, okay, I'll have a cookie. Thank you, Chompers. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for me for now. So I want you all to head over to GamesDoneQuick.com, check out the tracker. It's got all the important information you need on upcoming games in the marathon, like that amazing RE3 Remake bonus game you all donated to get in. It's got all the information you need on incentives you can put your donations towards. I think we have a Devil May Cry 4 incentive for Gods Must Die, which was a difficulty so hard that the devs removed it, and we'll see a showcase of a couple of bosses if that gets met. I think it's only like $500 off. Come on, let's go make it happen. And of course, you'll see all of the amazing prizes you can win and how much you need to donate in order to win them. But with that, let's give it back to Eternal Enigma as we get ready for Resident Evil 3 Remake.
All right, and thank you, Sent, for another prize segment there. And I'm telling you, I'm watching the chat. That lamp is getting very popular. We may have to do something about that. I don't know what the something is, but the lamp, chat's liking the lamp. They want it back. We may have to see what we can do here. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2020 Online, powered by Twitch. We're currently getting set up for our next run, which is Resident Evil 3 Remake, done by Microwave. Got a few more donations coming on in here as well. We have a $5 donation from Valkyria, who says, "Hi, GDQ, cheers from Peru. First time donating. Really excited for all of the awesome games this year." $25 from